Ether is one of the most popular digital assets and powers the Ethereum blockchain. Back in 2018, then SEC Corporation Finance Director Bill Hinman stated that he believed Ether was not a security. Last month, CFTC Chair Benham expressed his view that Ether is a commodity. The State Attorney General of New York asserted in a court filing last month that Ether is a security. Clearly, an asset cannot be both a commodity and a security. Do you agree?
Actually, all securities are commodity under the Commodity and Exchange Act. It's that we are excluded commodities. But I would agree that a security cannot be also an excluded commodity and an included commodity. I'm sorry, Chair, just to talk about the Commodity Exchange Act more precisely.
Okay, so do you recognize, how would you categorize Ether then?
I think that the general sweep of what Congress did, not just in the 30s, but as amended.
I'm asking you, sitting in your chair now, to make an assessment under the laws as exist. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
Without speaking to any one.
I know you've repeatedly said you're not going to speak to one, except you've spoken to one, Bitcoin. So I'm asking you to speak to a second one, the second largest market cap here.
And speaking to the tokens, there's 10 to 12,000. If there's a group of entrepreneurs in the
asking about one.
The public is anticipating a profit based on the...
I'm asking you a specific question, Chair Gensler. I said this in private. This should be no shock to you. I'm asking this question. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
And again, it depends.
Well, what can someone say? Is Ether a commodity or a security? If Gary Gensler not able to answer this question, Tay, what do you think we can do in the world?
Good afternoon, Rudy. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I think it's a great opening for this week's session. You made me laugh because we always criticized Gary Gensler on Dxtalks and Cryptotalks. Of course, we criticized him in a good way. The good way is putting a valid regulatory proposal to regulate cryptocurrencies and not under existing laws that might not fit the purpose and the future of cryptocurrencies. But this is what the United States now is dealing with. Is the Ethereum a commodity or a security? Especially that they change the way they reach consensus on their network. They change the way where they come to an agreement on the status and the nature of their blockchain, which might as well have implications to the nature of Ethereum. Is it a security or a commodity? But yeah, it's a funny video to watch. I mean, we are way ahead in the crypto game, and you still have people discussing whether this is a security or a commodity. But this week we saw as well some aggressive regulatory moves. We're going to talk about it in the session. Good afternoon to you and to all the people who are watching us once again.
Indeed. I think it's a funny time. It's not about now, it's about how the future is being shaped. So we really have to see how this is going. So let me welcome you again to Cryptotalks powered by Dxtalks. This is where we are really trying to bridge the knowledge in the Middle East region to bring you as a spectator and as a participant the power of taking more decisions. So as per every week, we always start with one thing that is dear to our heart is the fraud aspect. So be careful of, if you know first any fraud happening, please do mention and do notify us, myself or Tay. Watch out from fraudulent impersonating accounts. They are a lot. Watch out from fraudulent and impersonating websites that looks like or sounds like the original one. Make sure not to fall any victim. So today, also, I think we're opening the first episode of season 8, which is a great time to live in. So you can watch our episodes anytime on replays on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Google, you name it. We are there for you. So some of the events that happening in a few days in Istanbul, we have CWES, Crypto World Expo. We have end of the week this weekend with IEEE Lebanon joined to talk about unleashing the virtual reality. If you'd like to attend, I'll be speaking there, and we are a main sponsor. Also, the cybersecurity innovation that is happening, not forgetting World AI Show in Dubai and in the region. Web3 conference happening in Lisbon. So do watch the latest innovation in this space. There's a lot of things that is happening. We're more than welcome. So with that, before I transfer to Tay to reopen and then discuss, let's go to the news section. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. We are more than happy for your support. Tay, the floor is yours. You are muted, I think.
Excuse me. So good afternoon, everyone, once again, who is watching on week 22, 2023. It's end of the month, Wednesday, 31st of May, and I'm taking a look at the crypto prices as we speak. We're on the level of $27,000 for Bitcoin, Ethereum 1,860. There was a major announcement coming out from UAE today. We're gonna discuss it at the end of the session. There was as well the debt ceiling, events that happened last week, which gave some confidence back into the crypto markets. We saw some slight improvements in pricing. Bitcoin is 2.5% up in the 7 days, Ethereum 4% up. Most of the gainers were related to, or most of the gains that we got this week. All the Ripple lovers, they had a great week last week. Other than that, I wanna take a 1 minute to talk about Glassnode. So what we've noticed, or it was mostly the data that Glassnode has gathered last week and for I think the whole year as well. They released a very interesting report related to the DeFi trend that has been on a slowdown for since I think May 2022, almost a year now. We're seeing DeFi on a downtrend, moving down. This the sector today that Ethereum is relying on are basically the gamify and the staking. So those were the past 2 years. Those two sectors have emerged really strong within the Ethereum ecosystem. We saw gamify almost overtaking DeFi in mid 2022, and we saw as well how the rise in the aggregated market cap of staking protocols going from 505 million in January 2023 to over 3.2 billion in April 2023, which is last month. So if we want to consider those sectors and we want to play their role on the wider Ethereum economy, we will realize that DeFi just represents 3.04 of the Ethereum size itself, where at the peak of this business, DeFi was representing 16.6% of the Ethereum economy. So this means if DeFi has to make a comeback, we still have a long shot to cover for that 13% peak. But at the same time, there is talks on the new staking models that we are seeing, the role that DAOs and decentralized organizations and their voting mechanisms will play on token holders controlling those DeFi platforms to find new ways to redirect value and create revenues towards their stakeholder economy. So with this, it is interesting to keep an eye on ETH and what new developments can come up from it in the coming few weeks, and I would say years. Keep in mind Litecoin halving happening in summer 2023, this summer in August, and we have less than 1 year to the Bitcoin halving scheduled or expected to be scheduled in between April and May 2024. With this, Rudy, we can kick on our news section, starting from the big gainers this week. Ripple almost saw a surge in price around 12% in the past week, where traders were analyzing the expected positive decision in Ripple's long case against the SEC. There was an impressive gain for Ripple from the beginning of the year, where the gains reached almost 50%. They were exactly 48% since January 1. And this is backed by the growing expectation that Ripple will win its case against the SEC, and there will be a positive outcome. So those, plus a number of positive developments that Ripple was working on, we saw this change in sentiment regarding the Ripple, its community. The second news that we covered for you for this week was mainly related to the news on Bitcoin slipping a little bit ahead of the debt ceiling, where the House of Senates and the voting that has been happening in the United States now pushing the debt ceiling 2 years ahead the line, or 2 years down the line. This gave some space for liquidity to go back into the markets, and this slip that we saw was backed by another gain in momentum, and now prices around $27,000. The future of crypto regulation in the United States, especially as well in Northern America, is pushing a lot of companies outside the space of the United States. And the latest to leave was Bybit. Bybit is leaving Canada and they're heading to UAE, which is becoming the hub for cryptocurrencies. Besides Ripple and the debt ceiling news, another sector in the crypto space saw some gains in this week was the AI cryptocurrency related tokens. So every major event or every major, let's say, breakthrough or innovation that happens, there is a wave usually that follows it. And in the crypto space, they're really good at riding these waves due to the amount of liquidity that can easily move between platforms. So since the rise of AI, we had a lot of gains in the crypto community. But before we head into this, last week as well, we covered how less there were crypto frauds this year. Of course, the market cap go down, the number of frauds go down. Market caps are going up, then the number of fraud cases are going up. It goes simultaneously or in parallel with the how do we say, on the demand for cryptocurrencies. And big broad overview from 2012 until today, we saw almost $3.5 billion lost to 48 crypto exchanges. But how did these attacks happen is very important to know, so that other exchanges can prevent these attacks from happening, or anyone who is regulating or thinking of setting up regulations regarding preventing hacks and theft of crypto assets, they know where these attack vectors are coming from. So according to these statistics, 11.8% when a theft is happening, it's usually an insider, suspected, trusted insider is facilitating this theft or loss or hack. This accounted to 12% of all this $3.45 billion in assets lost, which is a large number. 29.4% was obtained through access to hot wallets. So we know in crypto exchanges we have the hot wallet, which usually contains the funds that need to be traded. They need to be on a spot market. They need to be on the customer wallets. And there is the cold wallet, which holds usually the large deposits or the large sum of crypto for the exchange that are related to the clients that people entrusted this institution or organization with. Another large percentage similar to the suspected insider trading was the compromised systems and servers. So those were the top three reasons. Mainly it's obtaining access to a hot wallet, or an insider trading, or a compromised system. Those are the three major risks that cryptocurrency exchanges face. But again, top tier exchanges like Binance, like Coinbase, they store their customer assets in cold storage. Yet it is not the case for all other exchanges. So the future for regulation, I think, as well lies in how these exchanges are managing the customer funds, and most importantly, are they mingling or are they mixing the customer funds with the trading funds? Back to our AI story. AI cryptocurrencies have been jumping the past week, especially after Nvidia, the company that sells the graphic cards. We all know them from the gaming industry. They basically announced that they announced the revenues that were heavily uplifted from the demand on AI and the relation of those devices in enhancing and improving AI algorithms. This made the cryptocurrencies that were launched or linked to this hype or wave of new crypto, we're calling them the AI cryptocurrencies. Any cryptocurrency that is trying to position itself as the new AI frontier or new AI leader. Most of them have, of course, no value. Some are scams. Some are even outright scams. Yet what we're pointing out here is, if there is, I don't know, a potato wave coming up, then you will see a wave in the cryptocurrency scene where potato cryptocurrencies. Now it's AI, so AI cryptocurrencies. Could be some big breakthrough in machine learning, and they say machine learning cryptocurrencies. So because Nvidia, this huge big company, made those massive profits in Q1 2023, they are basically replicating or running on this wave and trying to replicate those gains. Last piece of news for today, as we said in the beginning of this session, some news is coming from UAE. In order for UAE to comply by the new FATF rules, and under the new rules of the Central Bank of UAE, licensed financial institutions, or LFIs, they will have to verify the identity of all their customers. The update is coming into effect at the end of June. What does this mean? This means that all non-crypto financial institutions establishing a relation with a virtual asset provider, including banks, finance companies, exchange houses, payment service providers, registered hawala providers, insurance companies, they all should submit a request to the central bank of UAE for non-objection letter to open accounts for each VASP on a case-by-case basis. Any collaboration with a VASP without prior approval or national license is prohibited. Besides the general verification process for customers before establishing any relationship, it would be as well important to understand the nature of the customer of the business. Of course, this is coming now tighter and tighter regulations on cryptocurrencies. Lebanon as well was under a threat, or still under a threat, of being listed on the gray lists for financial markets, and the way to prevent this is moving from a cash-based economy to a more digital money-based economy, and reducing the reliance on cash transactions, which is considered to be a main source for crypto laundering or money laundering in general. With this, Rudy, I'll give the space back to you, and if there are any questions or comments, we are here open.
Thank you, Tay. Very interesting part, especially ending with UAE, what's happening. And then we have a question about this. Is UAE tightening the crypto more and more? This is a question from Marie Clémence. Or it's just to enable the ecosystem? We know there's a lot of fraud. We know there's a lot of operating things happening in UAE, but let's try to think of it from legal perspective. What's the value or the outcome, final outcome they want? Is it because of FTF or gray list or an AML, or because it is really to enable this ecosystem? Still, I cannot hear you, Tay.
Oh, sorry. I was saying that you cannot really regulate the space in a full 100% manner. There should be a compromise. There should be as well an understanding of, if, like, in order to regulate it, let's put it in this way, you have to understand how a criminal would use it in the first place, and then you will back trace those steps and find the suitable ways to prevent this from happening. So one of the things, for example, that perhaps the regulator doesn't know, but we all know as users, Rudy, Tay, everyone on this session, they all know, and they've seen it or heard it at least, that you can buy an account on Binance, KuCoin, Mexi, or any of those exchanges. You can buy a verified KYC account. Such activities you cannot do with the banking sector. Why? Because the banking sector needs your physical presence or your physical proof when you are transacting, something that is not required by cryptocurrency companies, and it defeats the purpose of being a cryptocurrency platform if you have to go to a shop to do a transaction. every transaction that you do for illicit activities is recorded on the blockchain. So this means you're leaving a trace, you're leaving a trail behind you of evidence that could indict you or could point to the direction of your identity in this illicit activity that has been done. What does this mean? Do we really need to set a new type of regulation for cryptocurrencies? I don't think so. The current laws are sufficient. There are financial laws that prevent money laundering. There are financial laws that prevent financing terrorism. What is missing is just to really curb now this thing and not give licenses left and right to basically everyone who can afford to pay money, and then put more complicated rules to drive the real people who need to use the service. We drive them out of the service. So UAE is fighting a game, or is fighting a war to move itself out of the fat F and the gray list. It's listed there next to Malta and next to a few other countries. But it's not the cash-based society that is mainly affecting them. It's more their political stand in the war in Ukraine, and all these political factors that has been shaping our region. So this is where we draw the line when politics want to interfere with money, or when governments and money collide, where the whole purpose of we working in this space is to separate the money from the state.
We have some more. If Bybit left Canada and Binance, what is the Canadian strategy? Totally opposite of UAE, I would say. This is by Bob asking. You're again on mute.
Oh, sorry. I've never used Bybit in Canada, to be honest, but I believe that there is today limits on how much crypto you can send and how much you can trade without revealing your identity, or without revealing as well.
It's anything up over $1,000, you have to directly receive.
Exactly.
So $999. There's another question. What are the cryptocurrencies in this case? Cryptocurrencies. And a follow questions. It's specific for AI because we mentioned this. I've done in the meanwhile, while we're speaking, I've done a small research, and I've put it in the description. But let me cite them quickly. I think one of the names that popped up for me is SingularityNet, as AGIX. They're trying to be on the forefront of this, and this is a very promising, anyhow, project by itself. So according to, I think, sector market cap, the graph is number one. Singularity, let me try to share them quickly if I can, because it's interesting. We never ever went to this topic in specific. Let me try to share this because it's interesting.
Most of those projects, they are now just riding
The wave.
the wave. They, as we said, if tomorrow a new type of, sorry, but the sun is in my face. If there is a new type of, I don't know, chocolate that came out, they will say, hey, look at this crypto chocolate.
Similarly to Pepe and
Exactly.
meme coins.
I mean, the thing is with Pepe, and I talk with about Pepe with a lot of people. Pepe is not a new meme that came out. Pepe exists in the crypto.
It existed, but the idea of the memes.
Exactly. It existed since I remember Pepe from 2013, to be honest. I've seen it in 2013.
Even more.
Yeah, I've seen Pepe. I've known one of the guys who worked on the Pepe sketches in 2013. I met him in blockchain hotel in Germany. They were opening a new type of hotel, works on blockchain, blah blah blah. And it ended up to be a gathering for Bitcoin and crypto people. Very lovely guys out of Germany, and this is where I met the Pepe folks, 2013. So it is not AI tokens, it's not something coming out of the blue now and claiming to be the next big thing.
Okay.
This is a mem token. We all know what mem tokens are. They don't have value. You're just speculating on them, and we're fine with it. But when you want to come claim that you're the next big thing in AI and you're tokenizing it, and the tokens are out of our ears now.
Very, very interesting. UAE is becoming the hub in true sense.
True. UAE is not just becoming the hub. I think UAE took took this whole crypto market under its arms, being the place where Dubai is safe. You can work with transactions on a global scale, and we all know Dubai is biggest towers, the palm, the big, the best, the first. It's logical.
So why not have the best blockchain?
Exactly. Why not have the best quality of people coming to them? They knew how to attract the talent, and this was important.
Just trying to see. There's somebody saying Safe Moon. I remember Safe Moon long time ago.
Again, Safe Moon is an example of AI crypto tokens. Safe Moon came up with the first, I think, one of the first projects to come up with this burn and distribute, like sharing fees and burning fees, and it was one of the first projects to make this. They set this trend, and everyone followed after. So I don't want people to go and follow AI coins. Yes, you can play with them, you can speculate on them, but this is not it's an advice not to enter into those swamps of different cryptos.
Right. And that's another question. Are AI coins traded on exchange or Uniswaps?
Uniswap and exchange. There are few on Binance, I believe, as well.
Okay. I think the one that I shared could have some indication to where they are or what's their status, if I'm not mistaken. No, they don't have the indication. Anyway, but it's a good, I think you can find them also, I'm sure, on CoinMarketCap and try to filter them out, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you have anything else, Tay, to sum up today's episode. Starting with Gary Gensler and then moving on.
Yeah. I mean, this was really a nice opening, Rudy, and a nice reminder as well on how early are we still in this space. We can barely agree on a definition. مش نحن, on a regulatory perspective, there's still no definition on what is crypto, what are tokens, what is Ethereum, what is Bitcoin, what's the difference, the Ripple case. For mass adoption to happen and to see this Bitcoin at $1 million, Ethereum at 100,000, and all the numbers that we're talking about, there should be wide mass adoption from communities, from the retail sector, from the corporate sector, from the banking sector, from the investment industry sector. They should all pour money or poor liquidity into those crypto markets. But for that to happen, the big boss needs first to say, what are we dealing with? Securities, commodities, tokens, magic money. We know what it is for us. For us, it is digital money. We use it to transact around the globe in an open manner where we are the bank and not the bank is the bank. With this in mind, we are half of the year, exactly like tomorrow, 1st of June. We went through, I think, the toughest half of this year. Why we say the toughest half for this year? Because we came out of FTX, we came out of Terra Luna, we came out of all the series of liquidations that happened to crypto companies, and now we're seeing again a strong commitment and a strong motivation to build. With this build,
No, your
with
voice
this
is gone.
with this building, we expect a new wave of projects to come out. Perhaps the ordinals and what we're seeing from Bitcoin is just the tip of the iceberg for the next year. Personally, I'm very bullish on the next half of this year, especially with the Lightning halving coming soon, and with the Bitcoin halving starting less than a year from now. So بلش العد التنازلي. Let's see what's the next bull high will bring us to. Will it be the $1 million this year?
Let's wait and see.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tay. Again, congratulations on being listed on MEXC exchange
Thank
on
you.
your tokens,
Thank you.
and
Thank
you
you.
can grab them on that space.
Yes.
Don't forget to join Floos on Telegram and
Join us on Telegram at its Floos, and please, Floos token is only sold on Avalanche.
spam alert, spam
and
alert, scam alert.
MEXC, only MEXC. ما حدا يجي يقول لكم Floos token is on this exchange or that exchange or PancakeSwap or blah blah swap. No, it's only on MEXC. So if you
Great.
want to purchase Floos, go to MEXC, you create an account there, and you purchase your first Floos tokens. Anyone who needs help, they can reach out to me directly. My Telegram is on the screen. And ciao, I'll see you next week.
Ciao. See you next week. Have a good one.